So obviously I use a wheelchair, which would be my big one. That is pretty obvious for most people who meet me. When it comes to other forms of technology, it's all around the computer. You know, a computer is a big tool for me to whether it's work or play or just communication. I mean, I use the computer a lot at home and in the office. So for me, a lot of my technology is how to interface with the computer. So I use a few devices, you know, a touchpad, some software. I mean, nothing over the top. I mean, there's all kinds of software and assistive technology that people use nowadays. I know that, you know, in my experience working, a lot of employers are sort of afraid of, you know, well, what kind of computer are they going to need? Oftentimes, it's a real simple solution, you know, maybe a few $100s, because assistive technology has come so far that, you know, it's pretty affordable and pretty mainstream now. So.
Well, I would have to say our cell phones. For example, recently they launched the T911 texting with 911 service. So talking to the deaf community and educating them how to text, how to use that service so they can communicate with fire, police, and ambulance if required. Computers, iPads. Soon they'll be setting up VRS, a video relay service, which is very similar to the Bell relay service, where they have operators, but in this case they would have interpreters. It's already been set up in the States, and Canada's hoping to set that up.
You know, our society as a whole has improved a lot with technology, obviously, in the past 10 years. You know, software now is pretty transferable. You know, public spaces are designed with accessibility in mind. So a lot of environments are becoming more accessible for technology. You know, of course, a big barrier to that would be in old architecture or old, even, you know, systems architecture computers where, you know, I might say, well, I need to use such and such a piece of software, and maybe the server they're using is 20 years old, you know, because they haven't upgraded it. So that would be a barrier, right? Where now they would have to have, you know, an overhaul just for me to be able to interact with the computer. Of course, using a wheelchair, you know, as technology or any sort of assistive device, you know, if the physical environment is not set up to do so, then obviously that would be a barrier as well.
I guess staff need to remember that deaf people are very visual. And a lot of times I go in and people ask me, well, can I get your phone number? So what they have to realize is I'm not going to be using a phone. I'm going to be using texting. I know if I go to doctors' offices, some other agencies, and government services as well, they won't permit email. But for me, I need to use email or texting. So understand that sometimes those special exceptions have to be made so that we can email and communicate, because that's so much easier for us than having to use BRS or having them call and leave a message and have that message relayed to us by somebody else.